Welcome back to the YouTube page for Northcom Technologies. It's been 10 months since our last video, and in that time we've been developing a new item, and that's the PUC, the Portable Universal Repeater Controller. Featuring the Midian's RM1 repeater maker, the PUC is an innovation designed by us and built by us here at Northcom. It takes an already great item and makes it even better. The Midian's RM1 is a single-port repeater maker designed to take two radios like a CDM and a CDM and connect them back-to-back to make a tactical field repeater or a two-way, half, or full duplex link. Now, many of you already do this. You might use a repeater maker like a CAT or an SCOM 7330, or you might even be lucky enough to have a RIC. The problem with using these two devices is very simple. One, the RIC is not available. Two, a repeater controller might not be necessary when you're only connecting two radios in a tactical situation in the field or at a site with limited access where you only have to control two radios. That's where the PUC comes in to fill the void. With two DB9 connectors made by Amphenol mounted right here in the front and a Phoenix 5.56mm power connector here, the PUC and the Midian's RM1 make a tactical controller that allows you to have DTMF programmability, courtesy tones, and a timeout timer on a package so small that this literally fits in the palm of my hand. Mounted into a die-cast aluminum case, I can take this and throw this right across this room, and I'm going to pick it up, and it'll still work. It's designed to work in a harsh, commercial, abusive environment. With limited space in mind, the PUC can mount right on the back of this tray, controlling both of these radios by the 16-pin connectors that you're all already so familiar with. And unlike any controller that you've ever had, this may be hard to see on film, but the PUC integrates an amplified internal local speaker so that you can hear the receiver audio from your receive radio right at the site as it comes through the discriminator. You can also hear your local tones as you enter them into the keypad for programming. The audio on that speaker can be adjusted internally through a potentiometer mounted inside on the bottom of the amplifier for no audio or full volume. This is a very powerful feature that allows you to have field diagnostic and programmability functions that you'd normally have to use a computer or a service monitor to enable you to do. Now, what does this accomplish? Well, these two radios are set up for a voting system, and that means that radio number 1 is a VHF receiver, and radio number 2 is a UHF transmitter. In this configuration, I can take my little portable radio, I can key it up, radio number 1 goes into receive, and radio number 2 goes into transmit, is registered on the bird watt meter right here. As soon as I let go, radio number 2 instantaneously stops transmitting. And because we're going to be using this on a voter, there's no CWID, there's no courtesy tone, and there's absolutely no hang time. That is the ideal configuration for a remote link. Now, let's say I wanted to create a tactical repeater if I was working for my local volunteer fire department, or maybe my small town police department, and we had to do some kind of a field operation outside of the geographical scope of our known good coverage area. Well, I could easily take the configuration in front of you, program it through this keypad, and create a tactical repeater that's going to give us, depending on your radio, 40 to 125 watts of power simply out of our handheld radio, like every other repeater that you're already familiar with. And that is not something that you've been able to do with a controller because of the issues related around portability. They're simply not portable. Now, as all of you know, new radios come with new problems and new features. And two problems with modern radios is they integrate electronic power switches in the front panels. What does that mean? That means if I press this button, this radio is going to turn off. And it is not going to turn on until I actually press the same button. Unlike the older Motorola GDMs or CDMs or similar vintage radios, these buttons are electronic. If these radios were to lose power under a specific circumstance, such as a generator turning on, they're not going to turn back on. And in a remote environment, that's simply not acceptable. So unlike any other controller on the market, The puck incorporates line voltage into the DB9 pins right here, and that allows you to provide ignition sense of these two radios or any other radios. This way, should your generator take a moment to kick on, your uninterrupted power supply might not be so uninterruptible. These radios will turn back on every single time line voltage is returned, and I'll demonstrate it very quickly. I'll wait a moment for the capacitors and the power supply to drain down, and I'll plug this back in. Line voltage was routed directly through the puck to the back of these two radios on pin 10 ignition, and those radios were restored to their normal operating mode. And they key up just as they did before without any intervention from the user. Now, because this is DTMF programmable, I can enter a passcode into either one of these radios and I can disable a receiver or I can disable a transmitter. Programmability can be accomplished in that way over the air. We can plug right into the transmitter port on the bottom and connect to our laptop computer and program the RM1 in that way, or you can simply enter it through the DTMF keypad. It's entirely up to the end user. This device is portable, it's strong, and it's less expensive than your controller, but the quality is going to be a level that you're not used to having seen at a price point such as this. These are available today. Visit our webpage at www.repeatercables.com. You can contact us there through our email, mark@repeatercables.com. That's MARK@repeatercables.com. Feel free to give me a call, send me an email, ask me questions. Pinouts on this are available in custom configurations, and we can provide these in large quantities. Also, if you like this product or you like similar products, visit us on Facebook where you can see even more pictures. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.